channel. If you're not new here, then welcome back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for loving me as much as I love you. Let's get right into today's video. I kind of wanted to talk about the fact that I have a business, and I talk a lot about being a business owner, and that's kind of what my brand is built on. But I went back to my 9-to-5 last year or the year before, and my 9-to-5 is being a nanny. Now, initially when I went back to having a 9-to-5, I did also dabble in leasing. I've always wanted to do that, and so I applied and I got the job, and that was really cool. But and I actually really did enjoy it, and I might go back one day. But I want to talk about why I decided to make that decision, because I know that in the business owner world, it's kind of taboo. People are either forcing, like, you have to have a job in order to fund your business, or they're saying, you know, you got to quit your job and throw yourself in entrepreneurship and like give it your all and like really give the risk. And while I understand both, I kind of wanted to explain the mindset that I have, because those of you that do not know, I did leave nannying, the nanny world that I loved, in order to throw myself into my business full time. And I did that either in 2019 or 2020, I don't remember. But I will never say that I regret doing that. It was some of the most fulfilling times of my life. I absolutely loved my every single day. I was doing something that I loved every single day, and I was really throwing myself into it, and I was really focused. And during that time, I was able to grow my business to the point where I could hire people, where I was able to make it something bigger, where it actually felt like an agency and not just a me, you know? And that was amazing. And it got me to the point where I am now in my business. Even through the ups and the downs and the failures, it was amazing. However, and I want to say that a lot of it had to do with security, which it did in a sense. A lot of it didn't have to do with security, but I did have that, you know, in case something happens in my business, because I am self-funded. I do not have grants. I do not have loans or anything like that. So because of that, I concerned myself during times when business was down or low. I was worried about whether or not I would be able to still maintain my team. And so a part of me wanted to get a 9-to-5 so that even if business is going through low, I don't have to like cut hours. I don't have to like make my team struggle or whatever, because the people that work for you depend on you. That was part of the reason. But another part of the reason was simply that as an agency owner, I didn't feel like I was doing enough. And when I say that, I don't mean like I felt like a failure. I mean like I had too much what felt like free time on my hands, and I didn't want to only do this. It wasn't my only passion. Being a business owner, a social media management agency owner, was not my only passion. It's not the only thing that I care about. Creating content for YouTube, while I love it, creating content for social media, while I like it, it was not the only things that I'm passionate about. Being creative is not the only thing that I'm passionate about. I never necessarily wanted an office for this business, but I have always wanted to work in an office. That was one of the main reasons that I wanted to be a leasing agent. I decided to lean into my other passions. And for those that do not know, I've been a nanny for almost 11 years, and I've always been passionate about it. As a matter of fact, the business I initially wanted to start first in life was owning a daycare center, and I still may do that one day. I've always been very passionate about children and their learning and their development and their growth. That's something that I am genuinely passionate about, and I didn't want to actually leave that to the wayside. And I feel like multi-passionate people are the type of people who can work their 9-to-5 corporate jobs, their 9-to-5 whatever job it is, as long as you like it, you love it, and it's funding your business. You get the best of both worlds. And so I decided that I wanted to also expand my business and grow, and I didn't want to get a business loan. So I wanted to lean into getting a job, also getting a job that I love, and maintaining who I am, because who I am is somebody who's passionate about doing what you love, enjoying your work, enjoying your life, living life on your terms, whatever that looks like. And for me, that looks like working a 9-to-5 that I like to help me fund growing the business that I like. Both those things are both super duper important parts of my life. Now, there are days when you don't feel like doing it. Now, I won't lie. There are days when I don't feel like going to work. I don't feel like creating content, or I don't feel like doing it. But I feel like that's the case whether you love the job or not. There will be days where you just don't want to do nothing, because who really wants to work, you know? I will say that I don't regret going back to my 9-to-5 either. I don't regret it, because I now feel fulfilled in multiple ways. It's very fulfilling to go out on your own and to give your all to your business and to be working that full time, but it's also fulfilling to lean into multiple sides of you, the multiple passions that you have, the multiple things that you care about. Also, I like to have a lot to juggle. I'll admit that I'm the type of person who I like to have a lot of different things on my plate. I think it helps me to be more productive and to focus, and I have work shifts. And when I say that, I mean there's the business owner, social media manager me, and then there's also the nanny me. Two very different facets of myself, both professionals in their own right and in their own way, but tap into different sides of me. And when I only have one specific industry that I'm dealing with professionally, this may not make sense to some, but I know what's going on up in here. If you know, you know. Being able to shift, is being able to stay in work mode, but being able to shift makes the when I am in work mode more productive and me more likely to be able to do it, because it's not all I have to do, or it's not all I'm thinking about professionally, if that makes sense. So having something else that I'm focused on work-wise that I have to do and shifting my mind to that makes it easier for me to actually be productive in my business. I have the flexibility to shift. Like every day doesn't have to be about my business because I have a child to take care of every day too. I don't know if that makes sense. That may not have made no sense at all whatsoever. But I tried. I gave it the best explanation that I could. I have a very complex brain, okay? Another thing about having a 9-to-5 and a business is, like I said, I do lean on doing what you love and living life on your own terms. And there are multiple other things that I'm going to do as well. I am probably going to have other jobs as well. I do kind of want to go back to leasing. I'm not sure that I will, but I do want to kind of. But I do know that I am going to have other jobs in the future. Not instead of, but also. And that may sound crazy to some of y'all, where like you can't have 8 jobs, but I still do intend on opening up a daycare center one day. I do still very much want to go back to leasing. I want to own a coffee shop. There are other goals that I have that I intend on accomplishing, and it's just going to be like one by one, tackling it on. Right now I'm in school, so that's the only reason that I haven't added another job. But I genuinely enjoy what I do. I love what I do. I enjoy being a business owner, and I enjoy being a nanny, and I enjoy creating content for YouTube. It's all encompassing, and all of them do take different sides of me and different energy from me, but I love them all, and that's the point. Anyway, that's the end of this video. That's everything. I would love to know what you guys do. If you guys are business owners, what's your business about? If you guys are business owners and you have a 9-to-5, what are both those things about? I know some people who at one point I was working in a marketing agency, and then I had my social media management agency, and actually I really liked that experience too. I just didn't necessarily enjoy the actual agency that I worked for, but it was very gratifying to be able to like tap into different versions in the marketing world. That was also really fun. So I would love to know what you guys think. I would love to know you guys' version of that. And if there is a 9-to-5 that you have, do you like it? Or is it something that you're just doing in order to fund what it is that you do actually want to do with your life? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys have any video ideas, let me know. Go ahead and follow me on social media, Cherishing Flow on everything. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.